whatever you want on this planet, you can have. It literally depends on how bad you want it, what you're willing to give up, and you can't doubt yourself in these things, and you need to know your worth, and you need to know that you are worth whatever it is that you want on this earth, on this planet, in this galaxy, in this universe. Anything you want, you can have. Russian, Russian, Russian girl is my baby. Gimme only one. Hi guys, my name is Geena Poldnev, aka Lil Ruski. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you like my face, make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to comment down below if this video helped you at all. I'm just gonna hop, honestly, literally right into it. I don't even have an intro or anything. I'm just grabbing my tea. It says, sipping on some sunshine. I need to get a coaster or else my mom will kill me. Love you. The day I turned 16, I got my driver's license, and my dad was planning on already getting a new car. So he gave me his old car, which I ended up destroying and totaling within a year. So if you wanna see that video, you can go ahead and watch my car crash Storytime video, which is my very first YouTube video on this channel. So you can go ahead and watch that after this video, link in bio. Anyway, so I crashed that car and I was screwed because my parents were working full-time. So they were unable to constantly drive me to practice, so I needed a car. So thankfully, we were able to get me a Honda Civic. That was my second car. It was a 2016 Honda Civic that was under my mom's name. She had really good credit, so she was able to have two cars under her name. So this was gonna be my second car, which was leased, and I originally wanted to lease to own the car, but as the years went by, well, not years, I guess it was literally like 1 year, so I ended up getting this Honda Civic at 17, and when I turned 18, I realized that I didn't want to lease to buy anymore, and that I actually wanted to own a car, and I wanted to own a different car. I wanted to own something fun and sporty and something that really represented me as a person. And if you know me, well, I mean, you can literally tell by my makeup, but I just love being super girly, Barbie. I wish I had my claws, but unfortunately I don't, but it's okay. But yeah, so I realized I really wanted to own a fun, fresh, and sporty car. I was unable to do that because I had a car, was leased, which was about, I wanna say like, it was $325 a month. When I turned 18, that's when I started doing my research on what kind of car I wanted, and I couldn't figure it out. I was going between the Fiat Spider, I was going between a Porsche, even though I obviously could not afford a Porsche. I was just getting my hopes and dreams up real high. I wanted a Camaro at one point. I went through so many different choices and options, and I finally picked my car, my current car, which is a Mazda Miata. And I'm actually making this video right now because it is a year, officially a year, since I've had this car. And I'm so grateful and thankful, and I love my baby so much. Her name is Tarantino. She is a 2019 Mazda Miata. She is the best car I could ask for. I turned 18 and I realized that I wanted a Mazda Miata, but there was absolutely no way of getting that because, well, actually I lied. I was like 17 and a half when I realized I wanted the Mazda Miata. Obviously I didn't have a credit card because I wasn't 18. I think I quit gymnastics when I was 16 going on 17. It was the summer of my junior year going into my senior year of high school. I was 16 then. Oh wow, I was 16. Was I? Yeah, because I turned 17 when I was a senior in high school. I got my first job working at Starbucks. If you guys want a story time of working at Starbucks, literally a nightmare. I worked at the Starbucks in Venice, so I either got the really rich, snobby ass people that lived in the canals, or I got the psychotic homeless people that would throw poo at me. Literally, like literally. It happened once, but still, I worked at Starbucks, realized that I wanted this car. I did all the research I could possibly do on this car. My Mazda Miata was about 30 grand, and which means that I need to put a certain amount of money down payment in order for me to be able to own the car. I'm still paying off the car. I realized that I needed to save up for a down payment, so I decided to go to the bank, opened up a savings account. A lot of people don't recommend opening a savings account straight through a bank because you end up kind of losing money with interest instead of investing it, but that's like a whole nother topic. I haven't even started investing yet, but I'm still only 20, but I still need to start investing. I just need to get into it. Once YouTube starts officially being my career, that's when I can really start investing. But anyways, and well, I guess when I pay off my car in school. But anyways, not the point. I opened up a savings account with my bank, Wells Fargo, and I started putting a certain amount of money every month. Like, I would put 300, 400, 500, however much it was, and I would never touch that money. And I would just let it go up and up and up. On my 17th birthday, usually my family gets me money for my birthday, because who doesn't love money? And so I got, I think maybe almost $1,000 in money. So I put that into my savings account and I just saved and saved and saved, and I worked my butt off. I wanted this car so bad. Realistically, if I didn't believe in myself, I would have never gotten this car. And that's what I really want to preface in this video. You need to know that whatever you want, you will have it. You are worth whatever it is that you want. You need to know that anything on this planet you deserve. It just depends on how bad you want it. So I started working my freaking butt off at this disgusting Starbucks that I absolutely despised. Once I graduated high school, I was going into college, which I currently still go to Cal State Northridge, and I absolutely hated working at Starbucks and knew that I could not do that anymore. So I quit working at Starbucks after a year, and I was offered a position to be a gymnastics coach at a studio that I used to compete against. I ended up getting paid more there, thankfully. At Starbucks, I was getting paid about $13.25. I think my starting pay was like $11.50, and then it went up. When I was a gymnastics coach, I was making $18 an hour, and I was under a 1099, thankfully. I was able to like write stuff off, gym clothes, shoes, gas, anything. I recommend that everyone tries to get a side job under a 1099 contract because you can write off a lot of stuff during your taxes, and working under a W-2 or a W-4 is no bueno because they deduct a lot of taxes, and then during tax season they deduct even more taxes from you. Get that side hustle, get that bread, get that head, then leave. So I was 18, became a gymnastics coach. No offense if you're watching this. Actually, yes, offense. I hate when people say no offense. It's so annoying because obviously it's gonna be offensive, and saying no offense doesn't make it any less offensive. It just makes you seem annoying. I absolutely despised working at the studio because it triggered me so much from when I used to do gymnastics. I'm gonna eventually film a video about the toxic world of rhythmic gymnastics. I just honestly have not gotten to it and have been pushing it aside as much as possible just because it's gonna be a little tough. It's something I did my whole entire life. Although I am very incredibly grateful for the sport, it mentally screwed me up. A lot of my really close friends and a lot of girls on the national team and a lot of girls on the Olympic team, and I'll eventually get into that video. Working there just made me realize why I quit in the first place, why I quit doing gymnastics in the first place. It was an awful environment for me personally, honestly. I don't know, it's just it's complicated because although, yes, like my coworkers were dope, I loved working with Russians because I'm Russian. I spoke to my coworkers in Russian. That was cool, but it was just this constant obsession over losing weight. You can't cry. Well, like for the kids, you can't cry, and like it was this obsession for losing weight with amongst my coworkers and them making the other kids. It's like it was a lot. It was a lot. My goal was pretty much to save up as much as possible so I can put all that money on a down payment for my car. On top of all of this, I still had to pay for gas on my old car. I still had to pay for my car. Still had to pay for school. I still had to pay for my mom. To be fair, my mom did help me out with my car a little bit with my Honda Civic, but I still had to pay for school. I still had to pay for my phone. I still had to pay for everything, pretty much. My food, my luxuries, I guess you'd say. A lot of my friends' parents pay for their stuff, which is cool. Like, that's awesome. I wish my parents were able to do that for me, but at the same time, I'm also very thankful that I worked at such a young age because I feel like it taught me so much. Honestly, I recommend everyone to get a job in customer service. Every single person on this planet should get a job at customer service at 16 or whatever the legal age is in your state or country, because it teaches you so much about people, communication skills. It makes you so much more thankful for all the things you have. So yeah, I still had to pay for all my stuff, but I was still able to save because I avoided going out as much. I stopped buying food like lunch every day. You gotta let go of some of these things, baby. If you want a brand new car, you gotta give up a couple things. You gotta give up on that $10 Chipotle bowl. You gotta give up on that $10 Romwe shirt. I ended up working at this studio for a year, hated it, absolutely despised it. And then last summer is when I quit working there. Still had my Honda Civic at this point. I quit working there. I didn't have a job, so I gave myself 2 weeks to find a job. I really wanted a job in the restaurant industry because I already worked at a cafe, Starbucks. Fuck that. I already worked as a gymnastics coach. Fuck that. I gave myself 2 weeks to find a job. I applied to work all over the Venice boardwalk. I got hired at, I think, 5 out of 8 of those jobs, but I really wanted to work at this one restaurant that I just felt like would fit me so perfectly, and I just wanted to work there so bad, and they wouldn't get back to me for a week, and my time was ticking because these places were waiting for me to finally accept my offer, and I just kept calling, I kept harassing the managers, and finally they hired me, and so that's where I currently work. So at this point, I've already had 3 jobs. I've had a new job every year, and except I guess with my current job, I'm still sticking with it. But anyways, so I ended up finally getting the job. I was so happy, and I started working there in July. I started working there in July of last year, and I ended up saving at this point $10,000 within those 2 years. And the day I turned 18, I applied for a credit card and got it that day on my birthday. And so I pretty much started only using my credit card to pay anything and everything off. Make sure if you get a credit card, you're not gonna be dumb. You're not gonna be one of those dumb kids who's gonna swipe, and then forget to pay it off on time. You need to swipe, and pay it off early. If you want to build your credit history, if you want to get that good credit, if you want to buy a house, if you want to buy anything of high value, you better start getting your credit history going. If you're already over 18, you don't have a credit card, honey, what are you doing? I know they don't teach you this in school, but you need to get on top of this. Having a credit card, unfortunately, is so important to be able to buy anything. You're not going to be able to really buy anything unless you have a credit card or unless you have a lot of cash, which is, you know. So I was able to build my credit history. I saved up 10 grand. I gave back my Honda Civic. His name was Xavier. Miss you, BB. You were always in my heart. I've been working with someone named Gary, who was able to find me the Miata of my dreams that I wanted. Shout out to you, Gary. Thank you so much for your help. He's a car dealer. If you guys are looking for good deals on cars, let me know and I'll give you Gary's info. If he's okay with it, I'll ask you after I'm done filming this video. But yeah, so Gary ended up helping me find the car of my dreams, and because I've only had a credit card for about a year and a half at this point, my credit history was way too young for me to put the car completely fully on my name, so I was forced to get a co-signer, and thankfully my dad agreed to be my co-signer. Thank the Lord. So I was able to get this car. I put down 10 grand, and my monthly payment is about $390 a month. But I try to put as much down as possible, because if I were to put $390 a month, then I would pay off my car within 5 years. But because I've been working so hard, I've been able to put between 500 and plus a month. So I'm gonna be paying off this car within 2 years. So I've had this car for a year now. I put 10 down as down payment. I ended up, within the year that I've had the car, I put another 10, and now I have another 10 grand left, which I'm gonna pretty much pay off within this year. And then the car is fully mine. I don't have to pay for it anymore. And then I can start saving up to buy myself a condo. Woo! Yes. Okay, anyways, if you have any questions at all, please reach out. Don't be shy. I love you guys so much. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to comment your dreams and aspirations and what you want in this life and what you know you're gonna have in this life, because you can get it, baby. I love you all so much. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow me on Instagram. And I love you. Bye.
А так, що там, пий на страву.